Hey everybody, we're about 4 minutes out to launch in today, and I'm Jeff, and with me is,
Tim Maudlin.
and content ain't sexy, but the results is what we're going to talk about today. So let us know where you're dialing in from, so we can see where in the world we're reaching out to, and of course, let us know that you can hear us talking and also see Ben Franklin on the screen. That way, we
Winter
make sure
is
we get a good recording. What's that?
winter has finally arrived here.
Yeah, that's what I heard, and it's arriving here. It got to 70 yesterday. It's 40 something now,
Uh-huh.
and it's going to drop um, like real January temperatures.
I feel bad because we have a local ski slope here, and they have not been able to make snow.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
And so finally, I saw a picture, and they're making snow like crazy to try to get some kind of a season in.
Yeah, try to get some kind of base down.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not skiing like they have in Colorado and Wyoming. It's
No, no.
my wife. She says these are bunny slopes.
Well, yeah, they are. It's not the powder out there,
Right.
um, and it is different skiing. But
Uh-huh.
um, all right, we got people coming in. We got 3 minutes to go. Uh, Make sure you got things to take notes with, folks. Uh, and hopefully the dogs will have decided to stop barking by then.
Mine's asleep.
Well, what's
So
your secret? I'd love to get. I know Buddy's asleep, but Duke
I don't
seems to
know.
be.
He was barking 5 minutes ago, but he stopped, so
Yeah.
he's pretty calm.
Then when you fuss at them, they get excited because it's like, oh, good, they're barking too. What are you gonna do?
Well, it won't be like Jim's Chihuahuas. I mean, oh my.
Oh my gosh, I know. And yesterday when we were doing the AMW thing, I mean, they got four of those things.
Yeah.
I The most I've ever had is three, and that was I won't do that again. Um, but four, especially little yip yaps like that,
Uh-huh.
like no, just no. I knew a family in Tallahassee though that had 19 dogs.
You're kidding. Oh my.
Now in a regular suburban house like yours or mine, um, yeah,
We used to call my mom the cat lady. She had so many cats, but most of them were outside.
that's a good place for them. The
Oh,
coolest cat I ever had is the only cat I ever had. Um, the breed Russian Blue, they think they're dogs and they act like dogs.
really?
Um, this cat, they're a dark gray with a really distinctive face, and this cat named Hawkeye would ride in my car, kind of leaning against my shoulders and the top of the seat in my old '67 Mustang, and just ride around there and let the wind blow in his face. And um, I'd come home and pull in the driveway. He'd come running around from the backyard like a dog. It was awesome. Um,
Wow.
yeah, that kind of cat I would have again. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, we need to get going here because it's straight up. So, and the lines are filling up. Hey, folks, welcome. Three, two, one. Welcome everyone to a very special Results Now Content Does webinar series. Webinar series. Content ain't sexy, but the results. What we're doing is Tim and I were talking the other day, and this is really you're part of an experiment. Uh, we were talking the other day wanting to do a three-part series because we'd heard recently somebody say that the only three assets you really own are your mindset, your skill set, and your network. Your mindset, your skill set, and your
Network.
network. And so we've built a series around that. Today we're doing mindset. Next time, session two will be skill set and then network as it relates to content. Okay. And our job today, our goal today is to change your mind a little bit about content, because we get it. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, and no one likes to write. We got some ideas about that too, and so that's why we came up with a really cool title: "Content Ain't Sexy, but the Results Sure Are." So we'll move forward here. Charity sponsor today is Hold Fast Hope is their slogan. That's the slogan of Lighthouse Family Retreat, which is a local Atlanta organization that works with children living through childhood cancer and works with the families. My son Caleb and I volunteer there every summer. And that's the tent outside that a lot of stuff happens under. So later on, if and when you invest in any way in yourself, you'll also be investing and helping those folks, which is pretty cool. All right, so on the menu, around the idea of mindset, changing your mindset, we want to change your mind. With how everything you've been told about content is not only wrong, it just might suck. How to do less and get more, that's exciting. How to completely reimagine the purpose, reach, and impact of your content. We'll walk you through your next success steps, give you a mindset genius tip, and of course, like everything else, so much more. So now, Tim is the king of acronyms. So he took the set part of mindset and came up with a pretty cool one. And tell us about it, Tim.
Okay. I thought we'd take the last three letters of mindset and just kind of build upon that and consider the idea of how we can make our content easier. And I use these three words with the last three letters: simple, empathy, and tailored and time tested. Now, let me just explain these a little bit. Simple, and this is a story. Jeff never heard this story before, but it's something that's kind of cool. When I was in high school, senior English, uh, my teacher taught us a way to do research papers, and we had to take our index cards and turn our notes in and all this kind of stuff. I didn't do that well on that part of it. I think I was late on the index cards, and so I think I got a B on the paper altogether. But when I got in college, I learned a system for myself, and what I would do is I would research and make notes, and then I would kind of let the information marinate in my head for a week or two, and then I'd just sit down and write it. And I went back and was visiting my high school. And I told my teacher, I said, I can, Mrs. Foreman, I said, I can write a 10-page paper in one night and get an A on it. And she looked at me and she said, there is no way. I said,
Ah,
Mrs. Foreman, I do it all the time. Now, I didn't tell her that as I write, I handed it to my sister who typed it for me, but that's beside the point.
yeah.
but but there are simple ways to and simpler ways to do your content, create your content. One idea for being simple is to take one topic or one idea or one subject and build that out. We don't need to be building multiple things out at once. Just take one idea and run with it. And then with the idea of empathy, if you want your content to be successful, you need to have some empathy in it. And really what that means is that you don't want to write about me, 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 me. You want to write so people understand that you care about them. So you write in a way that expresses that compassion that you have, that empathy that you have for a person. And that makes your content a lot more successful uh, if you think about others rather than think about yourself. And then the final one, the T, is for tailored and time tested. The interesting thing about this is if you don't worry about catering to the masses, but rather cater to one person, think about writing to one person, whoever that might be, your ideal, your avatar, if you will, as some people like to say, but write to one person. And the time tested idea is there's a principle in play. And the principle is if you write to one, you're actually writing to many. And so those three ideas: keep it simple, show empathy, and then tailor it to one person. And you're actually going to expose your content to a lot more people than you ever can imagine.
I love that. I love that. And then time tested is, this works. The printed word works, especially when you turn it into the spoken word and the podcast or the live cast word.
Hmm.
So let's keep making this easier for you. Our goal here is to change your mind so that the skill stuff is going to be even easier for you as we give you new skills. So, how everything you've been told about content is not only wrong, it just might suck. So play with us in the Q&A. How many of you found writing hard in school? How many, when you were in school, whether elementary, junior high, high school, college, was writing hard for you? Yay or nay in the Q&A?
I guess one of the reasons when I didn't like it at first, and to her credit, this teacher said, "Tim, you're good at this," but I didn't like the methods that I was being taught.
Yeah,
But now I like doing it.
yeah.
But I don't know about you, Jeff. When you came back from summer break, did your teachers always say, "Okay, guys, get out your pen and paper, write about your summer break"? I thought, "Oh, not again." That was every
No.
summer. Every fall we did that. I go, "This is getting old, folks." And then the cards and stuff, I like to call that BB stacking. And I go, "Oh, you know, it doesn't have to be hard. It can be more simple." So,
Yeah, I would rather stand up and talk about what I did on my summer break versus writing about it.
oh my,
And
yeah,
part of it was made hard. Okay. The
yeah.
reality is, folks, writing in that way is hard. Okay. The difference, though, is creating is fun. That's a huge distinction. Writing is hard, creating is fun. Now, let me check something here. I want to make sure I'm saying the right stuff at the right time. Yeah, okay, we're getting to that part. Okay. So you hear Tim and I say a lot, don't you dare make this hard. Okay. One of the places, anytime you're creating content, we want you to think of it as your canvas. You're getting to do something really cool and take a piece of canvas, whether you're using a template or not, or a wizard or an outline or whatever to get you started, and you're creating your own masterpiece that's going to do two things really cool: make a difference in other people's lives and make a profit in yours. Okay.
Hey,
So,
Jeff.
yeah, man.
Um, my son Andrew, he's a freshman in high school, and he has an English class, and it was time for him to write his first paper. And he had all these rules and stuff, and I could tell it was just bogging him down. And I said, "Buddy, come here. Let me show you an easy way to do this." And I showed him a way to do it, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But I was showing him this way to do it, and he kind of got a smile on his face, and that boy knocked it out and got in the 90s on his first paper. So I was really proud of him. But it made it fun for him.
It can be used everywhere because Caleb just pulled off his first 4.0 semester last semester in 11th grade. And for the longest time, his pattern has been he'll get going on something. And if he gets stuck, he'll come and ask me for a template. Dad, can you make a template out of the instructions so it can be easier? And
Hmm.
I'll make it for him and I'll say, yeah, that'll be $97, son. Um, and so, yeah, you can even make that stuff easier the way we do it. Now, how to do less and get more. Folks, if this is the only thing you take away from this brief time together, and I say that because I don't think we're going to go more than a half hour, 45 minutes in each of these installments. If you can learn how to do less and get more online, that will be sort of like your inoculation against what's coming. All right. Because think about it. Right now, there's pretty much 6 to 7 main big social media sites. Some will stick, some will fade, others will come. The way of nature, the way of systems like this is they just get more and more and more and more complicated. And to that end, another yay or nay in the Q&A. Anybody ever suffer from social media exhaustion, trying to keep up with all those places. And people tell you, well, you should get stuff on here and you should be on here. Thomas is laughing. You should be here. You should be there. You should be doing this. You should be doing video here, and you should be, so social media exhausting is exhausting. Thank you, Captain Obvious. And a lot of people quit over it or decide not to do anything over it. And we want to end that, okay? The brilliance of the internet is that you get to work one to many. Okay? When this first started coming along, and I was in full-time private practice as a counseling psychologist, I loved the idea of the internet because, hey, I can reach more people in less time. Okay, and I was no longer bound hour to hour to hour to hour. Okay. So really what it is, what you have the opportunity to do is, we call it a focused one to many. Okay. It may not feel focused when you're talking to a lot of people. But like just right now, what we're doing is one to many, right? There's many of you out there. There's one of me, there's one of Tim. Now, we could do this webinar show to each of you individually, come to your home and present it, with slides and everything on a wall. That'd take a while, wouldn't it? And cost a lot. So the advantage of one to many is you get to reach a whole lot more people. The myth that we want to dispel is to reach a whole lot more people, you got to be on every platform. And that's just not true. That's just not true. You heard it here first, folks. You do not have to be on every platform. Tim, what would you like to add?
Well, I second it. I mean, I get exhausted too. And then you throw up your hands not knowing where to go first. And it's never ending. And if it could be made simpler, I mean, that's our goal. We don't want to make things harder. We want to simplify. And so if you can get somewhere where you can do this and reach more people, why not do it? Everybody's going to have their favorite platforms, but I mean, the way it's taught by so many people is it boils down to the gurus, as you say. They want you to buy their system to help get it on there and schedule and all this type of thing. It's never ending, and you don't get anything done at the end of that.
You should be doing this. You should be doing that. And
all the
there's all these gurus out there shoulding all over you. Yuck. All right, and our third point, where we're going to spend a lot of time here. How to completely reimagine the purpose, reach, and impact of your content. That's a tall order right there. How to completely reimagine the purpose, reach, and impact of your content. So what if we told you that 3 good things come from creating, not writing, but creating your content and getting it out there? Okay. One of them is you honor your creator who put that message in you. Every single person on here, whether you're listening live or to the replay, has a message inside of you. And those of you that have been with me for a while have heard me say many times that there's more people waiting for you, there's more people waiting to hear your unique message who can only hear it from you than you can ever get to in your lifetime. Thomas says he loves that. Well, good. Your creator put a message in you, and there's more people waiting to hear it who can only hear it from you than you can ever get to in your lifetime. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Please don't get caught in that. It does not have to be perfect. I was thinking earlier today, Tim, about the first public presentation I ever did on something that I made up for a campus ministry at FSU that I was once a part of. It was the single worst talk I've ever given in my entire career. It's horrible, horrible. I found out 2 years later, though, that a kid came to the meeting that night with the intention of going back to his dorm and killing himself that night. and something I said, he changed his mind. Now, when I was told that, I started laughing because I thought, geez, I'm surprised more people didn't kill themselves after that horrible thing. But something through that horrible presentation got through. Okay. And so that's why I talk about, when I talk about content does, whose life will you change today? Which leads us right into make a difference with those you're called to serve. Now, if you've ever gone back and thanked someone that made a difference in your life, or someone's come back to you and thanked you for the difference you've made in your life, you know the power of this. Okay? And it's easy to get caught up in the grind of, all right, let's finish this podcast and get it out there. Let's finish this live cast and get it out there. Let's finish this article, this column, and get it out there. And what we don't want you to lose is the notion that you're changing lives with your content. You're making a difference for people. I remember when I was first writing that column for the newspaper years ago, other therapists would tell me, I hear about you all the time now. What are you talking about? My clients bring in your column and say, we want to talk about this. I'd have husbands tell me, yeah, my wife sticks your column in my briefcase or under my pillow. And I'd say, oh, so you have a drug problem. And they're looking at me funny. And I'd say, yeah, your wife drug you here. I would get stopped in public and thanked for some of that stuff. And that's when I first began to realize that it was making a difference. I was doing it to promote my practice, in all honesty. And so we have a different reach now. You may never, ever see some of the people that you make a difference with. At the same time, it's easier to thank people now with text or notes or emails or whatever. And then third, first one is honor your creator who put that message in you, make a difference with those you're called to serve, and make a profit that creates a great lifestyle. Okay? Make a profit that creates a great lifestyle. Now, some of you heard this story, but it's just so illustrative. It really points out what we're talking about. What's the word, Tim?
Illustrative. I don't know.
I don't know. Illustrative, illustrious. It makes the point. Several summers ago, I took my sons and my oldest at that time girlfriend, now is his wife, down to Tallahassee where they were born. They wanted to see it, go to the beaches and stuff. The first day we were there, no surprise, we were at one of my favorite barbecue places, a locally owned place called Jim and Milt's. And we had gone by my old apartment complex and thrown Frisbee, and I was talking about the graduate school lifestyle of, you go to class and you learn some stuff, and then you kind of get to hang out with friends and do some things and, work out or play racquetball or ride your bike around. And then you're going to work for a while to sustain everything and, get up and do it all again. And all three of them started laughing. What are you laughing at? And, Dad, that's kind of how you live now. And they're right. I may be working at 11 o'clock at night and playing racquetball at 11 a.m. I work a lot, but it's whenever. Think about the lifestyle you want to create. And wouldn't it be cool to do it by honoring your creator that put a message in you, getting that message out there and making a difference in the lives you're called to serve, and therefore making a profit that creates a great lifestyle. Okay. So Tim, what would you like to add to that, sir?
Well, before I really started writing, I would create content on t-shirts.
Yeah, you did.
And, I was applying principles with my t-shirts, and I'll just tell this briefly. A few years ago now, a tornado hit our hometown, and I didn't know what to do to help people out, but I decided to create a t-shirt. And so the idea was to sell the t-shirts to raise money for the people who were impacted from the storm. It was a simple message on the t-shirt. It was something that was inspired by me. I can't take credit for it, but it was something I was inspired to do. And while I didn't receive, you know, compensation, typically how you would think of it, I received compensation of just knowing that I'd helped out. But that one t-shirt, as you know, Jeff, raised $89,000. It
Yep.
made a big difference because um, my mom was the one who handed out a lot of the gift cards, and she would see grown men with tears in their eyes because somebody cared enough to do something. And so content can, whatever form it comes in, whether it's written, whether it's on a t-shirt, whether it's a video or an audio, it has so much power to do some really good things. And so that's just one idea from me that I'd like to think back on and try to duplicate it once you know how it starts to work.
And this whole process gets you to think differently about all that. I showed you the charity sponsor earlier, Lighthouse, and a lot of the kids I work with that I volunteered with before and that are going again, and are starting to raise money. And they can do the hey, please donate kind of thing. But what they've started doing, and I got this idea from the 19-year-old daughter of a buddy of mine. They take a piece of cardboard and crisscross it to where there's 50 squares 1 through 50. Okay. And they play a game called Adopt a Square. And so listen to this, listen to the content piece. They tell stories about their experiences working with these kids. And they tell stories about these kids facing this stuff and making it through, and then ask people to adopt a square. Okay. So if there's squares 1 through 50 and all 50 get adopted, that's about $3,500. Okay. Um, that they raise to be able to go on those things. Okay. So, I mean, there's all kinds of ways to use your content. And what we found and why we're doing this mindset, skill set next time, and then network is that when you approach content this way, write this down, because I have it in my head, but I've never said it this way before. When you approach content this way, money flows. When you approach content this way, with these 3 things here, money flows. And it's a nice thing. So give me a yay or nay in the Q&A. Anybody having any mind shifts, any changing of mind about creating this content here? I would reimagine that you guys would leave excited.
You know, Jeff, when you say honor your creator who put that message in you, the message that I use for the t-shirts and the message that I use even in my written content is do what you can.
Yep.
And that message was put in my head by my creator. I have scripture for it in Mark 14. And when I tell people that I help them do what they can, you try to take all the shackles off and unleash their creativity and show them that there's ways that they can do things much simpler. And when they realize they can do something, it's a liberating thing for them. And you can just see all the weight that has been holding them back start to go away, and they just soar after that. It's like my son, when I showed him how to do something, I said, here's how you can do it. It's real simple. And he got a smile on his face and took off. And people do that all the time. So it's really it's a great feeling. You make a difference.
Yeah, it's awesome. With these Lighthouse kids, the first time we went, I was very nervous about being around sick kids. What do you say? What do you do? And you know what I learned? Pretty deep insight. They're kids. You play with them. You play with them at whatever level they're able to play. And there was a little 5-year-old kid this past summer on the second retreat we went on, and he just wanted to play with me. Even during lunch, he was underneath my table, and I was trying to eat, and I had my foot on his chest, and it was making his chest vibrate, and he's under there going, ah. And as soon as he saw his parents, he was sure to tell them, Mommy, Daddy, he stepped on me. I'm like, great kid, thank you. But a few minutes later, he ran up to me, and he looks at me with this incredibly quizzical look on his face, and says, "You're not a kid, you're an adult." I took that as high praise. Mara says, "This is great confirmation of what I've been thinking and doing lately." Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for hey, we've done our job if that's how you're feeling. All right, now, again, this is part one. Okay, this is the mindset. We're going to get the skill set next time, and then network. Let's see. Linda says, "This is quite a compliment." Oh yeah, that is quite a compliment. Thank you, Linda. It really is. It's the thing I remember most from this summer. I cherish that from that little Nico guy. Tim and I have found a place that allows you to do all these things better than anything we found. And some of you guys are already part of that. We want to invite the rest of you in because we've already covered in this particular course, Content Cash Creator, the mindset piece. And we're going to have that all throughout. Listening to this and not yet being in the course sets you up perfectly for module 2, which is coming next week, all about the skill set. Because we're going to pull out the canvas of Medium, this place where you can put your content and get paid for it and get all kinds of great results with traffic, visibility, list building, information product creation, all that kind of stuff, and show you exactly how to use this canvas. So first, we have to ask you, in terms of mindset, have we delivered? Yay or nay? In the Q&A, please. What's cool about that little kid, Linda, is he stays in touch. Thomas says, "You always do." Yes, yes. Okay, cool. All right. So now this is for you folks, whether you're brand new, hardly ever created any content, or maybe you're in between, intermediate, or maybe you're an expert. There's a place for you on this platform. It's called the Content Cash Creator, the course, your ultimate guide to more visibility, traffic, subscribers, and sales. And the platform that we use is called medium.com. And we teach you how to master that medium. See what I did there? So that you can do less and get more. Get visible, drive your traffic, more subscribers, and more sales. Now, we've done module 1, the Medium mindset and setting up your Medium platform and bio. You come on board today, it'll be easy to watch that before next one. It's just an hour. We're going to focus this coming week on creating your first story the right way, including demos. Tim's going to do one. I'm going to do one. We're going to show you I've lost track, Tim, of all the different things you can do there. Module 3 is creating a publishing schedule that brings you profit. Module 4, creating your calls to action, inviting them to take the next success steps. And then module 5, repurposing your content stories. They're called stories over there. In case you missed it when I just casually mentioned it a moment ago, you're going to be promoting your business anyway. You're going to be creating content to promote your business. When you do it on Medium, Medium pays you, and they pay you based on the time somebody spends on your page. And we teach you all kinds of strategies to get people there and stay. $9.85 value for all that. Look at all the bonuses. I'll let you read through them all, but there's 11 of them. that total $5,467, a couple wizards. We want you to get really, really good at this. Okay? And so you're going to get templates. You're going to get repurposing. We're going to show you how to create your own magazine within Medium, and on and on and on it goes. Add all that together, the total package value is $64.52. And we could ask, and it would be worth, the famous internet number, $9.97 or $4.97 or $3 or $2.97. However, because we're on this webinar, that's not what it's going to be. But before we do the reveal, I need you guys to yell in the Q&A as loud as you can. Move that slide. So type that in there as loudly as you can. And then we'll invite you on board. Some of you have been with me a while. MTS. Move that slide. Okay, Miss Shepherd. All right. Special backstage pass to be there as we create the course, get your questions answered live, and for you to shape this course. It's only $197. Or if you want to stretch it out, it's 3 payments of only $77 at that link you see right there, Content Cash Creator. Now, when you go there and choose which way you want to come on board, either the most cost effective, which is $197, or we can finance it for you at $77 times 3. As soon as you come on board, you're going to be taken to the Facebook group where there's a lot of stuff going on. You can still catch your first 2 pre-assignments. You can catch the video from last week, and you'll see a lot of people posting their bio, okay, their profile bio, which can get you new customers before they even read your stuff when you do it the way we show you how. Let's see, I think we got some genius tips coming up, don't we? There we go. Tim and I don't do hard. We always say, don't you dare make this hard. Because our buddy Al Einstein said everything should be made as simple as possible. Okay? And then the second genius tip comes from another gray-haired guy or white-haired guy. Content ain't sexy, but the results sure are. When you're making a difference and creating a lifestyle that you love with it, that's kind of sexy. So again, there's all 5 modules. Again, there's all the bonuses. And again, that's your way in. ContentCashCreator.com. $197 is the best deal. You can get started though for $77. It's not both, it's one or the other. Either $197 one time or 3 payments of $77. And you'll be taken right to the Facebook group. I'm putting the members area together this weekend, but it's all in the Facebook group right now. You'll get started right away. You'll join us next week and master the skill set. So if you got any questions, now is the time to ask them. While they're thinking of questions, Tim, anything you want to toss in?
I just threw the link to the course in the chat. Everybody should see that.
Awesome. Yeah, you don't even have to type it in, folks. Just click it on the chat.
But yeah, if you get in, you'll see, like Jeff was saying, in the Facebook group, we have a lot of folks already in there creating their bios, and it's really neat that people can even start to engage with you before they read your content. And again, as I was telling Jeff when we first decided to create this course, you get paid to do something you were going to do anyway, and so it's really a no-brainer to do something like this.
It really is. And we've got people that are getting paid for their content before they've even started the course. Okay. The module 5 topic, Maura, is repurposing, going beyond Medium. And there's 5 modules listed. There's so much to this we're discovering. There'll probably be more than 5 modules plus all those bonuses. So you would do well in this course at contentcashcreator.com. So, folks, as we roll up and roll out of this, Thomas wants to know, do I have to be a techie to do this? Absolutely, positively no. Okay? If you can write an email, you can do this. If you can write an email, you can do this. I'll even take it to, if you can write and send an email, you can do this. And you will not ever be staring at a blank page, because we're going to be giving you templates to start with, to play with, to fill in. Not only templates for your article or your story or your column, but templates for your bio. We're going to have a wizard for your title and your hook. It's going to be the headline and hook wizard. It's going to be really easy. Remember, we said do less and get more. Here's how to do it. So
one of the things we're discovering, Thomas, as we create our content, is that the Canvas medium gives you, and medium, it makes WordPress easier, because you can create your content actually on the Medium platform and then take it over to WordPress. So I enjoy doing it on Medium's platform because it's so easy. It's so easy to format your text. It's so easy to add links. It's so easy to add images. Like, images are a one-click away. I mean, that's just crazy that you can do all those things, and you have all those features right there. And then, as I said, you can take it over to WordPress later if you want. But yeah, you don't have to be a techie for this.
I'm not.
I'm not either.
There you go. So if I can, you can. All right, folks, thanks for being here. A lot of places you could have been. You chose to be with us, and we appreciate that. Part 2 rolls around next Friday. But my strong recommendation is let's go deep with it on Monday, and join us for creating your content in the simplest and most powerful of ways. Go get this stuff at contentcashcreator.com. And as always, folks, go use this stuff because it flat out works. Thanks, Tim. Great job. And folks, we're going to go on mute, leave this up for a little bit so you can keep ordering, and we'll see you Monday.